Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a video that I actually hadn't really thought about, but for some reason I got inspiration randomly recently to do it. I want to recreate my driver's license photo, and I think I've seen a couple of videos like this going around YouTube from like a while ago, so it's not like a trend that's anything recent or new, but yeah, I just thought like I would create like this situation going on here because I've actually been living in Vegas for a little over a year now, and I think I actually got this done literally probably exactly a year ago today, which is funny because tomorrow I'm going to get my smog checked so that I can renew my registration, so it's probably been like almost exactly a year. So I just thought like let's do a fun get ready with me. I'm gonna try to recreate this, and I'm gonna give you kind of tips that I kept in mind when I went to go to get my photo taken if you're in the market to get a new DMV photo, because fun fact, actually the license I had prior to this one was California. The photo on that ID was the one that I took when I was 15 and getting my permit. So I didn't even smile. Let me see if I have it actually. Let me show you. Okay, yes, here it is. I have my California, I'm trying to cover like my information, but this is like my California photo. They put a void little marking there because it's obviously not valid anymore. One of the reasons why I wanted to get a new license in the first place was because not only did I actually become a resident here, but that photo was not letting me get into places. Like it got to the point where people were looking at my photo, like bouncers, if I were to go to clubs or bars, would look at this and be like, is this you? We need secondary proof. We need like some other form of identification. And I just was like, oh, it is me. I'm 22 now. I'm not 15 anymore. And I don't have braces. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to be using products that I think I may have used in this photo. It is a very casual, chill photo. I don't have eyeliner on at all. I have a little bit of natural eyeshadow because I wanted to go for a more natural look, but obviously still cover up. So yeah, I remember I was using this liquid suede lipstick in the shade Sandstorm. I remember that for sure. Let's just recreate the look and we're gonna see how well we do, shall we? So without further ado, don't forget to please subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you know when I post Wednesdays and Saturdays, typically at 9 a.m. So without further ado, let's go ahead, get on into it. Alrighty, so first thing I'm gonna do is prime my face. I don't know how long I've had this primer, but this is a great photo. This is a great primer for photos, and I'm gonna kind of give you tips along the way as to what you can do to make sure your photo comes out well in terms of the products that you use. So I'm gonna go in with a pore filling smoothing primer. This is the Touch in Sol No Poreblem primer, one of my favorite high-end primers. It's very smoothing, and it'll give you a really great base for your photos or just in general, because it is a pore filling primer, but it's not super thick and it's not going to ball up. Now for foundation, I may have went, this is my second bottle, but I did have this foundation last year as well. I may have went with this Wet n Wild PhotoFocus foundation in the shade Golden Beige. This is an excellent foundation. As you can see, it is photo friendly. It is the PhotoFocus line. So they've actually tested this foundation under several lights. It doesn't look like I have flashback in this photo because when you do go to the DMV, they do take photo with flash. And I don't have flashback at all in this photo, thank God. So I probably went in with a foundation like this. And if you don't have this foundation, pretty much any foundation that doesn't have SPF will do the trick. This one is just one that just is my tried and true from the drugstore. It's a great foundation. And I don't feel like I applied too much of it. This is like my standard. I just kind of take the spatula and just go all the way over. And then I will blend that out with a brush. This is the Morphe Y6. The tip for picking foundation is if you are unsure what color you are, what shade you are, if you're like in between like skin tones at the moment, I would always suggest going with a little bit of a darker foundation if you are going to go in with flash photography as opposed to your lighter option, just because flash it won't give you like a flashback, but when you take flash photography, that light will automatically make you look a little bit lighter. Like for example, whenever I film my videos, I tend to look just a tiny bit lighter because of this massive ring light that I have right here, which inevitably will make me look lighter. Like sometimes I'll film with like a darker foundation and it'll look perfectly matched on camera, even though in person, in regular lighting, natural lighting, it looks dark, but with the light it looks like it's just right. Ha, that rhymed. So right, now that we've gone on with one smooth, even layer, you guys know I like to do one layer foundation. I don't like to really build foundation because then it gets too heavy and oily on my skin. I'm going to go in with Spot Concealer. And as you can see, this is a pretty medium coverage foundation. You can get full coverage, but for me, I'm just going to leave it at medium. To conceal, I'm going to mix two concealers. I'm almost positive I use these concealers in that photo just because they're my ride or dies and they're full coverage. So to spot conceal, I'm going to use the Shape Tape in the shade Tan. I'm going to mix it with light medium just because when I went to go buy this, they didn't have medium, which is like my spot concealing shade. So I bought Tan and then I just mixed light medium on top, which works out just fine. So I'm just going to lightly dot this all over areas that I feel need a little bit more coverage. This is a very skin focused look. And then to highlight and go on top of that, I am going to take my Shape Tape in the shade Light Medium Honey. This is a brand new bottle I just got in the mail a couple days ago. Just going to, and as you can see, I really don't apply as much concealer either. This is enough, and then we're going to just go ahead and blend that out. Alright, and then now that our cream base is on, actually, I believe in this photo, I kind of distinctly remember that I cream contoured my face. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine Contouring Duo Stick in the shade Medium Skin. You guys don't really see me cream contour a lot on camera, but believe it or not, I have used this stick a lot. I mean, like, as you can tell, it's pretty much down to the wire. I'm going to lightly draw a stripe above. See my hollows like right here? I draw it above because when you blend it out, it's going to inevitably kind of go down, so you don't want it going past your actual contour. So that's why when you draw it on, just draw it like a tiny bit higher so that it will blend down evenly. And then I just draw a couple stripes here. I don't really contour my forehead because it is already small. I'm just going to go down my nose like this. And you can do your chin, but I honestly just believe I did my cheekbones. And then to blend that out, I always use this e.l.f. small stipple brush because I just believe it blends out the contour really nicely. Alright, so now that our cream base is officially on, it is time to set the face. This is very important, especially for flash photography. You're going to want to make sure that you set everything down with a powder that's not super stark white, like my Hard Candy Fast and Fabulous powder. That's a really great translucent powder, but it does have a lot of silica, which is an ingredient found in a lot of like white HD powders, and that can give you a little bit of a flashback. I personally have found that that powder gives me flashback. So I believe I used the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. This is just a cult favorite translucent powder. It's not my favorite anymore just because the ingredients are a little and I have found that there are other powders that do a better job for less money personally, but it is good in flash photography, so I'm just going to use it. You guys can see I'm pretty much almost done. It's probably going to make it to my next empties video. And back then I didn't use a brightening powder. Like you guys know, I use my Essence Brighten Up Banana powder. Recently I just got the Bye Bye Pores powder from IT Cosmetics, and I didn't really have a banana or brightening powder that I used last year. I think that was something that I recently discovered this year to do, like maybe in April or March. But so that's why I'm just going to set with translucent powder all over the face. I believe I used the Catrice Cosmetics Sun Glow Matte Bronzing Powder because I went through all my bronzers and I was like, which ones do I have from last year that I got before I decluttered everything? So I believe it's this and my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, but I know that I was still pretty tan in this photo because it was like late summer, so I don't believe I went in with my Butter Bronzer because that is just like a lighter bronzer. So I believe I went in with this. This is a really nice creamy warm bronzer. So I'm just going to take this with my e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush, just bronze up the face. For blush, I am almost positive I went in with the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in the shade Pearlescent Pink because in my photo I have really bright pink apples. Not really bright pink, but I can see that there's definitely pink color on it, and this is probably my pinkest blush other than my Juvia's Place blush that I recently got, so I know for sure it was not that one. Lightly tap it off and just go on the apples. This is a very pigmented blush, so you do not need a lot. Now for highlight, I am almost positive I went in with the J.Cat You Glow Girl Baked Highlight because my highlight is pretty poppin' in this photo, and this is like my go-to highlighter for photos, for a night out. Totally underrated. I'm just going to highlight the tops of the cheeks. Oh yeah, see? It's insane. I did have a very strong nose highlight. You can see in the photo I have like a little tip there. Oh, this is just like, is that not intense? This is like my craziest, most favorite highlight. Over all my high-end highlights, if you want a pop-in one, this is the way to go. Okay, and then I'm going to move on to the eyes before we set down this face. For my brows, I wasn't super into like filling my brows every single day. They're not completely even here. I remember filling them in a little bit. Like I distinctly remember sitting here, filling them in a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do. I didn't have my favorite e.l.f. brow pencil back then, so I believe I used my Anastasia brow definer in the shade dark brown just to lightly fill in the areas. They're not like super thick or perfect. I'm just gonna fill in the tops a little bit. And then I know for sure I went in with my NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. It's my favorite brow gel of all time, and I've had this for quite some time. Just going to brush this through. Okay, now that our brows are on for this regular, not super perfect kind of makeup day, I'm going to go in with eyeshadow. I have very neutral tones on. You're obviously not going to be able to see in this photo, but I know I did apply a little bit of something, so I'm going to go in with my Morphe 25B palette. I think I wanted to go in with kind of like cooler tone neutral situations to match my cool toned lip, and I'm just going to add a couple of crease shades. I'm going to start by putting this taupe gray all over the lid. And then on a little bit of a smaller brush, I'm going to go in with this brownish shade on the outer V and up into the crease. Again, I'm just not being very precise. I'm just kind of mainly smudging that onto the lid afterwards. In case you're wondering why I'm holding it like this, it's because I've had this brush for so long that eventually came off. I don't think I did anything else to the lid besides this because I don't think I have shimmer on at all. Don't have eyeliner. I'm going to smudge a little bit of this dark brown onto the lower lash line. This palette is great because it has a bunch of like cool tone shades, neutrals, so pretty much any shadows you pick would be fair game. Alright, and then to tightline my eyes, I'm just going to go in with a black liner. I'm going to take the No. 7 Stay Perfect Amazing Eye Pencil. Woo! And just tightline. It's a great kohl liner from the drugstore if you saw my best of drugstore video. And I believe now all we do is go in with mascara. I'm going to curl my lashes. I'm going to go in with my Tarteist lash paint. This is probably the mascara I use in this photo because it is my favorite high-end mascara of all time. This is obviously not the same tube I used in that photo, but this is a great mascara, and I can definitely see that I am wearing mascara. In person, it always looks more dramatic than it does on camera. This is such an intense mascara. I love it. Also, I'm so sorry. I don't know how long my mic was on the floor so that you couldn't hear or see anything, but hopefully not too bad. I'm gonna have to look when I go over this footage. But last but not least, I'm going to go in with my lip color. I'm going to take the NYX Liquid Suede lipstick in the shade Sandstorm, one of my favorite liquid lipsticks ever because it is a cool tone neutral, but for me, somehow I feel like it just brings out my features. I really do feel that way for some reason. I don't remember which setting spray I used, but I am going to go in with one that's going to keep me looking nice and matte so I don't look shiny, so the flash doesn't like, woo, bounce off my face. So I am going to take my Hard Candy Mattifying Sheer Envy setting spray. This very well may have been the one that I used last year because all the other setting sprays in my collection I got to this year, so let's just go in with this. And you want to make sure you fan yourself down after you spray, and that you don't really make any facial movements so you don't create like creasing, or that your mascara doesn't smudge, and also so that you don't have any like water droplets like sitting on your face when you take the photo. All right, everyone, and that completes this video of kind of like me recreating my driver's license. So this is what it looks like. I think I did a pretty good job. It is a very natural look, so again, it's not going to be super difficult to recreate or anything, but yeah, definitely things that stood out to me were the highlight, the blush, and the lips, and pretty much the fact that I used cream contour and that mascara and that brow gel. Like, I had a pretty good idea. I'm 85% sure these are the products I used from last year. Again, there are so many products that are going to make this look work. So yeah, this was really fun to just kind of take a stroll back memory lane. It's been almost exactly a year since I've had this license. So yeah, let me know what kind of videos you would like to see from me in the future. This was really fun, just a laid back, chill, get ready with me. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I shared some tips with you as to how to take your driver's license photo and what kind of products are good for photography and all that jazz. By the way, they say that you don't have to smile, but I like to smile in mine because typically when you go out, just another fun little tip, if you go out and let's say, like, this happened to me a couple weeks ago when I went to the club with a couple of my friends. When I went to the club, I was obviously in full glam, so I don't really look like super similar to this. So what they'll do is they actually ask me to smile to see if it matched up to this smile, because you can always change your makeup at the end of the day. Your teeth and your smile lines and just like your face shape in general when you smile is a really big tell as to whether or not you are actually the person in the photo. So that's why I like smiling in this, because that way they can tell for sure it's the same smile no matter how drag glammed out I am. So yeah, that's another fun little tip for you. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day wherever you are. Oh, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Just hit that button. Hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go now. Bye guys. Mwah.